Hey everyone, Jonathan Blackwood here, Editorial Director of Commercial Integrator. Welcome to another Three Questions interview. Today we have Paul England of SNA Displays. Paul, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate it. Always glad to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. This month we're talking all about digital signage and video walls. So what I want to start off with right off the bat is what are the markets that you're seeing growth in for large format displays?
Sure, that's a great question. We're seeing a huge growth in a few places. One is corporate environments, so things from anywhere from corporate lobbies, where traditionally you'd see a lot more static artwork, painting, sculpture, tapestry, that kind of thing. We're seeing a lot of growth in people doing that as digital artwork. Not only can you make it thematic or seasonal or what have you, but you can continually change it up and add value to the real estate. Seeing a lot of growth there in executive briefing centers and boardrooms and just places that were traditionally television or projectors. We're seeing a lot more just sort of wow spaces with large LED walls. The second one, probably retail. Seeing a lot of growth in the retail space. Traditionally, large format LED was really only for flagship stores like you might see in Times Square on Rodeo Drive or something like that. And it was mostly in fashion and luxury brands, but we're seeing that really shift market down to a lot of a much wider swath of retailers and a much wider swath of just commercial businesses in general and retail. And then probably the other one that's really exciting that we're just on the cusp of that I think we're going to see a lot more growth is esports. So where that was a really niche thing, maybe a decade ago, especially during 2020, during the pandemic, people were able to continue to participate in esports remotely. And so it really gained a much wider audience and a grander foothold. So as we see the real estate development around esports, we're seeing a lot more demand for large format displays in that space too.
Yeah, for those integrators that are selling to customers right now, obviously the display is only one part of the overall experience. Content design is something else that we've mentioned a lot when it comes to selling these types of systems. How important is content design to the overall experience when we're talking about these kind of displays?
Jonathan, you nailed it. While we don't do content, I'm also not naive in thinking that I can make a display good enough to overcome bad content. That's for sure. You really think of a display as only one of the three legs of a total experience. The content is absolutely critical. Good content makes or breaks the experience for sure. And the other thing that's also somewhat of the forgotten third leg of that stool is all the front end systems. So even great content on a great display, if it's being fed through systems that aren't mature enough to deliver the experience, it's just not going to work. We're seeing that content developers have really grown in their ability to take advantage of some of the advantages that an LED display can have. And even organizations, there's a nonprofit called CodaWorks that we're involved with that is a collaboration of digital artists. That's the Coda part of CodaWorks. They do fantastic, it's a nonprofit really to bring the people developing for that sort of thing together. And we just think that as an artistic medium, it's growing very quickly. Even as an advertising vehicle, it went from being a very niche thing to becoming considerably more mainstream. And all of that's being largely driven by the content community for sure.
For those integrators that might not be familiar or only partly familiar with SNA displays, what sets you guys apart from other providers in the space?
Well, so that's also a very good question. So really, I think the first thing, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our products. We do actually have very good products, but a lot of people make pretty good products out there. Certainly not everybody, but there's a lot of pretty good products out there. I would say that the key differentiator for what we offer, versus almost everyone else in the space is really our people. And I know that's a little bit of a trite answer to say, it's our people, but it really is the truth there. We think that the total package, we're a big company, but we're not a big enough company to suffer a bad one is a good way to think of it. So we'll always rally the troops and bring in all the right resources to make sure that every single display we install is just amazing. And I got to give a lot of props to two groups in particular within our organization. One, our project management team. Our entire project management team are degreed engineers, some with masters, some with PEs. We take that part very, very seriously, which I don't think every manufacturer, well, certainly very few other, if any other, take that level of care at the project management level. And we take that very seriously, somewhat predicated on our experience in large format outdoor. So the displays like Times Square, 10-story tall things, you don't get to guess at the math. You got to do the math right on that one. And then the second thing, our systems team is just like a Navy SEAL SWAT team, superstar, rock star paratrooper squad. Like those guys can solve almost anything. Super proud to have those guys on our team, and I really think that's it. I know it's a little bit of a canned answer to say it's our people, but we're very committed to delivering excellence through the entire project. So everywhere, not only pre-sales, during sales, during installation, but even well into day two. We have quite a few displays that are a decade old that are still fabulous. And I think that, that is definitely hand in hand with the level of care that we do at every point in the project.
For anybody who wants to learn more about SNA Displays, how can they find you guys?
Oh, sure. Well, snadisplays.com is probably the easiest and best way, but of course we're active on all the various social medias as well. You can find us on LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, pick one. So we're on all the social medias, and of course you can also drop an email to info@snadisplays.com, and we'll route whatever your question is to the right person.
Well, I certainly encourage everyone in the audience to check it out. Everything we've seen from SNA Displays has been top class and really incredible projects and things that you guys are putting out there. So Paul England of SNA Displays, thank you so much for joining us today.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, Jonathan.